What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the shop. I'm Dustin with DF Leatherworks. Let's finish up our branding bar items, shall we? So in our first video we did 2 weeks ago for our branding bar items, we ran out of thread. The good news, we got some in. So we're gonna get started with sewing all of these zippers into our wristlet card holders, as well into all of our large clutches. So let's go up to the sewing machine and let's get to work. All right, y'all, we're back over here on the Cobra Class 26. We're gonna get these zippers sewn in. We're gonna be at the sewing machine for a while today. So I will sew a few of them up and then I'll get back with y'all here in a minute. All right, we got a few of them sewn up with the zippers sewn in. We're gonna clip these threads and then we'll move on to the next thing. All right, we got our mess cleaned up. There we go, clean. Now, we're gonna round these corners. I've already got them marked out here from my pattern. All we're gonna do is we're gonna take our X-Acto knife, we're gonna make small little cuts to make that round curve. Leave it. All right, we're gonna clip off our excess of our zippers as well. Take our big scissors here, and we're gonna clip these off. All right, y'all, we got everything trimmed out. Next thing we need to do, we need to take a little small piece of leather for a D-ring holder, because these are going to be a wristlet style card holder. So let me cut some of those out. I'll bring y'all in so you can see what I'm talking about. All right, so we got our little D hangers done. All we're going to do is we're going to tape around one side here. We're going to attach that D hanger there. We'll fold this over and then we'll sew around the perimeter. We'll keep this D-ring as tight in as we can, just because it's more visually appealing. But that is our plan to make this a wristlet style carrier. All right, so yep, there's our little card carrier there. We have a little spot to add our little wristlet strap to. So yeah, all we got to do is sew around this perimeter and it'll be finished. All right, y'all, there we have it. There's our little card holder. Now let's make the strap. So we make our straps at 16 inches long total, but we're gonna have some overhang and things like that. So let me cut out the strip here and we will get to making that strap. There's a long strip of leather there. We're gonna cut it down to 16 inches. So 16. There's one. Cut this other one down to 16 inches as well. And there's two. All right, there we go. We got two straps cut out. Y'all come in here and see how I'll put these together. All right, y'all, all I've done so far is I forgot I was gonna line these. Just make them look a whole lot nicer, make them feel a lot nicer around the wrist, things like that. So let me go get these sewn up and I'll meet y'all back over here at the cut table and we will put them together. We did sew some of this up already. If you can see the little holes right there, we did have to pull some stitches out because I forgot to mark where we needed the overlap to go to. So that's what we're gonna do, is we're gonna overlap it like that, and then we're gonna sew down these two edges here to lock our little clip in. All right, guys, let me go over to the sewing machine and I'll be right back. All right, y'all, there's a little wristlet. All we gotta do is clip it to our card holder, and there we go. There's our little wristlet card holder. enjoy for the little night out on the town. But it is getting dark, as y'all can tell behind me. We're gonna go down, make some dinner, spend time with Paige. Then we'll get back on these tomorrow. We'll finish those up and then we'll get on our large clutches as well. All right, guys, I'll see y'all tomorrow. All right, y'all, we're back in the shop. We're gonna get started on our wristlet card holders and our large clutches. So y'all come along and let's get these done. We got all the zippers sewn into our wristlet card holders. I did get a comment the other day I want to address about what is a branding bar. So branding bar is we take our leather goods available to y'all and then we can personalize them using a hot brand. So we can take any of these letters or numbers, you get to pick the size and all that. We take these, we heat them up with a fire and then with a torch there, and then we press that on to the leather. And you will get an impression like so. So that's what a branding bar is. It is a live experience of watching that. We will go live here on YouTube to do that. So you'll be able to watch it live and we'll get your items shipped out to you that night. But yeah, it's just taking these brands, heating them up, burning it into the leather with your initials or numbers or whatever you may want. We can do that for y'all. So that's what a branding bar is. All right. So we've got like I said, we've got our wristlet card holders, zippers sewn in. All we're going to do now is we're going to cut off all this excess zipper, and then we're going to tape these together with the little D-rings in them, and then we'll be back here at the cut table so we can get started on our large clutches. All right, y'all, we just finished up sewing up all of our bodies for our wristlet card holders. We still need to make the straps, but we have 15 of these that we have done up tonight. It is already past 9 o'clock. I'm gonna go down to the house, take a shower, and relax for a little bit. And so I'll see y'all tomorrow. What's up, guys? We're back again tonight. We're gonna be back over on the sewing machine, sewing up those large clutches. So y'all come along, let's get to work. All right, y'all, like I said, we're gonna be back over the sewing machine, back over here on the Cobra Class 26 because, well, it's the only sewing machine I have and hand sewing all these would suck. So we're gonna get to sewing these up. All we're gonna do is just like on those wristlet card holders, we're just gonna sew a line down both sides of the zipper and then we'll move on to the next steps. First, we need to change our thread. Good Lord Almighty. All right, now we're ready, finally. Let's get to sewing. All right, let's go back to the cut table. Back over here at the cut table, we're gonna clip these threads. We're gonna trim up this zipper, and then we're gonna tape. And then we'll be back over the sewing machine to sew all the way around it, and this bad boy will be finished up. So we're just, like I said, cutting off these threads. Y'all may see other leather workers might burn these stitches down. I actually just cut them down flush. I haven't had any pull out on me yet. Cut off this excess of this zipper. So there we go. Have our zippers sewn in. Now all we're gonna do is we're gonna take our tape. We're gonna run around this entire edge here. And then we'll trim down the corners once we get it sewn together. Pull this tape off. Yeah, we're gonna try to get this as close as we can to match up on both edges. This hair on right here has some stretch to it. So if we're off a little bit, it'll be all right. We'll be able to stretch it over there. Like that right there. It's a little off. Get it stretched over there. There we go. Ain't nothing a little trim won't fix. And there. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna go sew around the perimeter. We'll round these corners off, and this one will be done. These do not have a handle to them. They're just carried by hand without a wristlet handle or a strap or anything like that. So it is just a large clutch, no handle. Trim these threads down. We'll trim off the corners, round them off. We'll be good to go. While we do that, we'll take our head knife here, make some smaller cuts like we did on the wristlet card holders. This stuff does not like a cut. There you have it. There is our large clutch, and it will match up with a little wristlet card holder once we get the straps finished up. We're waiting on some snaps for the handles so we can finish them up, but that'll be a matching set right there. All right, guys, got more sewing to do, so I'm gonna finish those up, and I will meet y'all back over here at the cut table. All right, y'all, so it's obviously a different night. You can't tell by what I'm wearing, but we did finish all of our large clutches. They were giving me some problems, so I had to leave the shop the other night before I got frustrated. But finish these up. These will match well with our wristlet card holders. For our branding bar, we'll also have all of these cast iron handle covers, as well as our hot mats. Also, guys, remember, we do have a giveaway going on for this belt right here. Go to that video here to find out all the details. But that's gonna be it, guys. I still need to finish up the straps for our wristlet card holders, but I'll do that without videoing because I don't want to bore y'all with that. But always remember, no matter where you're at or what you do, always leave your mark. See you guys next time.